We've got this magnetic notice board in the kitchen for the kids' artwork. It's made of a sheet of 1mm thick steel, painted magnolia and screwed to the wall. And with a proper sheet of steel, it holds a neodymium magnet like this really strongly. We've also got this roll of magnetic tape with self-adhesive backing, which we can use to stick on the back of the artwork like this, and then position it wherever we want on the notice board. With a sheet of steel like this, it's strong enough to hold up 25 sheets of A4 paper with these nice strong neodymium magnets. But upstairs we want to cover a whole wall with a magnetic surface. So we're going to try this Rustoleum Magnetic Primer. Over the top of that we're going to put an undercoat if necessary, and then an emulsion top coat. We're going to use this Dulux Once product because the fewer top coats you have, the better the magnetic surface. Just something to mention with this magnetic primer. When I first opened this pot, there was a big lump of iron filings at the bottom. It took me a good 15 minutes to stir it to get it uniform. And the other thing is it's solvent based, so while I was doing this it made me feel a bit dizzy, so do make sure it's well ventilated. What I've made is this sheet of plasterboard with different numbers of layers of magnetic primer on the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 coats of magnetic underlay, and on the top there's no covering here. This is just a coat of Dulux Once, and this is an undercoat followed by Dulux Once. And I've been experimenting with how many layers you need to hold up numbers of sheets of paper. If you just have some magnetic poetry, just 2 coats is enough, even with 2 top layers. If you want a IKEA magnet like this, 2 coats isn't enough to hold it, but 3 will hold it on its own. If you want to hold up a sheet of paper though, 3 isn't enough, then you need 4 coats. That's just 1 sheet of paper. With these neodymium magnets though, they stick much stronger and will stick fine to 3 coats. The manufacturer says 3 coats is enough. But if you want to hold a couple of sheets of paper, then you need more. So for example, this is 9 sheets of paper and it will hold okay with these neodymium magnets. But with 10 sheets, it doesn't hold so well. So that's what the numbers are in the bottom corners here. So depending on how many sheets of paper you want to hold, you can decide whether you want a number of coats of magnetic primer and how many top coats you're going to have. What we're going to go for is 5 coats of magnetic primer, and actually the number of top coats doesn't make a big difference comparing these numbers, so we're going to put one coat of undercoat and then a coat of Dulux Once on top. And with that it's strong enough to hold this, not just to the wall. If there's just 2 coats it's not very firmly attached, but with 4 or 5 coats it's nice and attached, and it will also be strong enough to hold up bits of artwork like that. So hopefully this is helpful to someone. Depending on how many bits of paper and how firm you want it to feel, depending on how many tins of magnetic primer you're going to buy to coat your walls. Any questions or comments, welcome below.